on this thing starting at the 120 level. I'm long down there. I continue to buy on dips. I've got my longer term positions, and then I day trade this 2 or 3 times a day. That's this is what pays the bills. So we look at trades where we can have some type of protection, and of course that protection is the Swiss National Bank. Right now, 122.43, that's what we're looking at as a key support level to begin the week. We've closed at 123.90. Are we going to get down to 122.43? Incredibly unlikely, but depending what happens on the G20 this weekend, can't be ruled out. So bottom line, we buy down to that level. Now, going into our British pound US dollar trade, again, this is almost identical to the Australia US. When we're looking at Forex, the US dollar right across the board decides whether it's strong or whether it's weak. Excuse me. Now we again see these predicted short, medium, and long-term differences from Vantage Point moving into extremely overbought territory. Now our predicted MACD and our predicted TSI are not, so it may have room to extend, but again I expect any rally in the pound dollar to be capped probably just under 160, so I wouldn't really be getting too aggressive with longs here either, because again we're buying or selling US dollars, right? We can see we can see the pattern moving through these different currency pairs. Now when we come into the Euro US, this pair is all over the map, and basically at the beginning of last week's Forex Weekly Outlook I suggested the euro would gain strength when everybody else was selling. Well, the indicators were telling me that that's what was happening, so now everybody's buying the Euro US. Our indicators are kind of warning that we are definitely overbought here. A corrective move probably back down to the 136 level minimum by the end of the week is extremely likely. Now remember, trading is based on probability. If we look at this chart, I'm again looking for higher. Am I getting higher highs here, or am I getting lower lows? Well, guys, when you look at me draw these lines in, you can see that I am very clearly getting lower lows. There are no higher highs. To get a higher high in the last 3 to 6 months, we would have to get above 144. We haven't been anywhere near that level since basically the beginning of September. So is 144 possible? I can't rule it out, but what I am going to say is that clearly it is moving lower. Any move higher is also met with a significant move lower. So we're going to be watching that dollar index to start the week, because Euro US is highly susceptible to any move in the dollar index more than any other currency pair. US Swiss franc, again, I'm touching on this one. 89.80, we've closed at 89.24. A little bit of pressure on here. This signal here, it looks a little ominous, to be perfectly honest. Our predicted MACD, predicted TSI, warning that this could move lower. I believe the Swiss National Bank will keep this thing propped up. So we're probably going to have one more push down on the US Swiss franc. Then we're more than likely going to go back to that 94 level. That's a very high probability. So it's just a waiting game now and a timing issue of when to get back in on those longs. New Zealand US looks identical to Australia US. You can see in the New Zealand US we are not making new highs here or higher highs. We are consistently moving lower. You can see it starts right here. It then comes down into this 86 level. Then you can see I have this line here for some reason unknown. I have this line drawn here, so I'm going to remove it. Now each one of these moves, you can see we're at 88, then we're at 86. So in this particular case, somewhere probably between 82 and 84 is where I would put a target on this. But that's a tall order right now, guys. That's a very tall order. And I'm not even sure we're going to get to that. But when it starts to move up, you can see that this is how Forex trades. Our predicted medium and long-term differences they have room to extend, but they are extremely overbought. So upside probably limited to one or 200 pips tops. Now looking at the US CAD, this one again, we are making higher highs. You can see it right here. And again, we've pushed all the way up into the 106 level. This was a fantastic trade we did on the live trading webinars with sponsored by Trader Planet and Vantage Point. We entered into this trade at 105.75, I believe we were into that trade, and we're still in that trade, riding it down. A terrific trade. Now, from an intraday perspective, my position remains that the US CAD is notorious for range trading. So we're likely to hold above 99.50, probably above parity, somewhere in that area. So we're going to start looking to get long here very soon. The predicted short, medium, and long-term differences, they support this. Every time that they become oversold or overbought, the market moves in the opposite direction. So remember that. You can see here the predicted long-term difference, this dark blue line from Vantage Point, hit into grossly overbought territory. And if you line that up right here with this lone candle and then the predicted MACD and the predicted TSI, the predicted long-term difference from Vantage Point was a leading indicator as to what was about to happen. Didn't matter where you got into shorts here. I know during this last week and a half, predominantly I've only been putting out shorts on US Canada to my direct clients, but then I'm going to start turning that around and I'll be starting to put out longs based on what I'm seeing here. So very important to remember that. The problem with trend traders is, a lot of times they don't make money because they don't know when the trend is changing. And these short medium-term trades that last for a couple of weeks can be very, very profitable when you get on the right side of them. Dollar yen, strictly longs here, guys. Nothing has changed, nothing new to report. We're playing this range, which is very slow moving. We're going to get a significant pop in the dollar yen. I anticipate it to be the top side, but I'll tell you the brokers would love to push it down to 74 and wipe out all the longs. So that can't be ruled out. I'm not saying that's going to happen or not going to happen, but what I do know is something is going to happen here very, very soon. Our leading indicators are warning us that this is getting ready for a trending move to the upside. If that's true, I would be looking to target somewhere between 78 and 79 as an initial target. Hopefully next week. I'm long again this one myself. I trade it probably 3, 4, 5 times a week, and all I'm doing is buying between 76 and 77. It's not a fundamental trade, it's not a technical trade. It's simply the Bank of Japan. Everybody is concerned that the Bank of Japan is protecting the 76 level. I would say that yes, they are, because under normal circumstances the 76 level would have given away long before now. We've been down in this range for basically almost 3 months. You can see it going right back here to the beginning of, like the latter part of July, beginning part of September, or excuse me, August. So this has been a very long time. Now, if equities do break higher, that's going to could put further pressure on the US dollar. However, it is also going to put significant upward pressure on dollar yen. So a break higher and a trend reversal in the S&P 500. Keep an eye on that, because if you see that thing climbing towards 1250, 1260, dollar yen is definitely, I would say to about an 80 or 90% probability rate is going to move towards the 79 level. So just keep that in the back of your head, because that's a very likely outcome. So with that said, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and this is the Forex Weekly Outlook for the week of October the 17th, 2011.